This is an animated login form built using HTML and CSS, and it's also a responsive web page, so it looks good on any device. It has two input fields for username and the password, and when you click away, the input fields will drop down. It also has a forgot password link, a sign up option if the user does not have an account, and a login button to submit the form. Now let's see how we can build this web page. You can download the starter files for this web page from the video description, which will be in a zip file, and then you can just open this folder on VS Code. In here we will be structuring the HTML part of our web page, and then inside the assets folder, inside the CSS folder, we have the style.css. We'll be using a special font for this web page. It's called Rubik. You can find it on Google Fonts, and these are the CSS variables we have used for the different colors on this web page, and these will be the default values set for this web page. And then you have three more sections for element styling, class styling, and animations. We can now start with the HTML part of the code. First, create a div called box, and then create a span inside it. It will have a class of borderline. This will be an empty span for now. Then create a form. Inside it, create an h1 tag with the text login, and let's open a live preview of this web page. This is what the live preview would look like. Now create a div called input box, and these will contain all the input fields. First, create an input field for username with a type of text, and then a span for username, and just leave this one empty for now. We will be styling it in CSS later. And then just copy and paste this input box one more time. This will be used for the password. Now create another div called links. This will hold all the links for the forgot password as well as the sign up hyperlink. And now we need to create two anchor tags, one for forgot password and one for the sign up link. You can also add an href for this. You can just leave it as hash for the moment. Now you need to create a button container which will contain the submit button for this form. It will have an input of submit with a value of login. And that would be all for the HTML part of this web page. Let's open this on a live server, and this is what the web page looks like. We can start off with element styling. The first element we'll be styling would be the body tag. Now we can style the classes. The first class will be the box class. And this will be the borderline class. We need to add pseudo elements for both the box and the borderline classes, which would enable the animating neon lights around the login form, but we'll do that at the end of this class styling. We will style the form inside box div. We can now style the h1 tag inside the form. We will be adding the keyframes for this animation at the end of class styling. We can now style the input box, and now the input field. We can now style the span inside the input box. And this is for the input field when it is on focus with regards to the span. Let's check how the web page looks like right now. Now whenever you click the input field, it will open up like this. And if you do not enter anything and leave it, it will go back down and you will only be able to see the label on top of it. We can just type something here. And this is how it looks like when you enter some input in the input fields. We'll now continue with the remaining styling. We will also style the hover effects for this anchor tag. And this is how it looks like right now. When you hover, you will be seeing an underline. We can now style the button. This will be the button container. This would be the button input field, which will be used to submit the form. We will now style the hover effects. And this is what the login button looks like now. If you click the button, it will ask you to fill the username and the password. And this is what it looks like on the web. We can now add the neon lines. This part might be a bit tricky, but if you follow along correctly, you should be able to easily make this. Go to box, and below that you can add the pseudo element for before. And this would end one line here, as you can see. And this would be the one after the before, which will be the after. It's still not moving. We'll get to that part in a bit. And once that is done, move to the bottom of borderline and then repeat the same thing. One with the before and then the other one with after. Okay, that would be all. Now we just need to add the keyframes to the line animation we just declared here on all these elements, and this will start animating. We'll do that part now. And now you would be able to see the lines moving. This is what it looks like on the desktop view. And all the other actions work as well. We just need to add 2 more keyframes for some other animations we just added previously. These 2 keyframes actually add a fading effect to this h1 tag here and this forgot password and the sign up text on this web page. And with that, our CSS part is complete. We have completely built the web page now. Now let's see how it all looks like altogether. And this is the finished web page. Let me refresh the page a bit so that you can see the animations one more time for both login and these 2 hyperlinks. And here we can type our username. In here we can type a password, and we had these 2 hyperlinks which are clickable. And finally we have the login button which has a hovering effect. And that is all for this video. On my next video it will be a registration page based on this login web page's design. So make sure to subscribe to stay updated.